This is really difficult. I've had a morning from hell. First of all, the plugs are different in Argentina. So that was worrying, because I was like, am I going to be able to find a plug adapter here? Now, as you can see, I have. So I woke up to a hotelier man banging on the door, because my time on the phone hasn't changed. So I thought it was 8 in the morning, it was 11, so he was already a bit pissed off at me. I was like, yeah, I'll stay another night, sorry. And then I went to a cash machine. Oh my God. I tried to take out 200,000 of Argentine pesos, which would be, I don't know, $170, £150. No, and it dropped me until I tried 40,000, which turns out to be £22. And it said, yes, okay, you can have £22. But we're going to charge you 137,000 Argentine pesos, which I don't know, I think is about £110. So to get £40 would have cost me £150. Tried another bank, exactly the same. So I came back to explain I have no money, I'm trying to get money, and he wasn't happy and he was putting pressure on me. I was just like, what am I going to do? Anyway, I spoke to my bank, they told me which bank to use, and now I'm at the point where I can still only take £22 out of the bank, and it charges me £8. So, you know, that's fine for a day or two, but basically I'm paying 50% bank charges on everything that I take out of the bank in Argentina. So I don't think Argentina is sustainable. It's probably going to be the same so that's not my bank. I use Revolut. They're not charging. I've checked with them. They're not charging. I get something like 800 quid a month of transactions that don't get charged. So it's the Argentine banks that are doing it. But, you know, so I currently don't have an income. I'm currently not YouTubing, so it's just not sustainable. So, I mean, honestly, I really wish I'd recorded this. Like, if you'd have seen my emotions, but basically, when stuff like this happens, you know, when you're in a new country, a new city, you don't really like it, and suddenly you're hit with all these practical problems, like you or I feel hopeless. You know, I mean, I've been fully, and I still am I'm still in my mind of like, do I just go back to the UK? So yeah, so I didn't film it because in that moment I was like, English refugee channel, it's over. Like, there's no point in me filming. I don't even go into it this much. You know, basically I'm just so broken as an individual in that moment that I can't record it. But it's a real shame that you didn't get to see all the frustration, all the despair, and then the relief when I found a bank that still charges extortionate amounts, but you know, an amount that is doable. It's very frustrating, but it is doable. Anyway, so another night in this horrendous hotel. I had looked up some really nice towns by a lake to go to in Argentina, but I can't be paying 50% bank charges, it's just crazy. So I think, as it stands, I think the South America, Central America dream is over. I don't think I can keep doing this. You know, I'd love to see Chile, I'd love to see Uruguay, I'd love to see Brazil, but it's really difficult, man. It's really difficult. Unless you are loaded and money doesn't matter, it's a really difficult thing to do. So yeah, I'm just like, do I get a flight to Southeast Asia? Do I get a flight to one of the very few countries in Europe, like Bulgaria or Poland, that isn't, you know, completely woke? Or do I just go back to the UK? But then what do I do? You know, I'm under grey skies, and yeah, it all just feels pretty fucking hopeless right now, to be honest. I don't know what I'm going to do. So I've just been to my second ATM. visit of the day. Paid another 50%. It will only let me take out £22. So I think the charge of 15,000, which is about £8, is standard on any amount, but it will only let me take out 40,000, which is £22. So, bit of a nightmare. So I'm looking at flights out of here, out of this continent, sadly, because I imagine that that's just going to keep happening wherever I go now. Like, that's probably the way of the banks in South America, and it's just not really a chance I can take. I can't keep trying different countries and spending money on flights just to find out that I can't afford to live there due to bank charges. So I feel like it's time to accept defeat and admit that Central America, South America hasn't really worked out for me. So now the question is where to go. I'm debating between Europe and Southeast Asia. Europe is easier visa-wise. It's still a bit of a nightmare since Brexit. You're only allowed 90 days out of every 180, but then there's the Balkans, so I could split it between the Balkans and Europe. Lots of countries, lots of options. So I almost went with that, and then I started thinking about the temperature. I mean, I don't have any clothes for cold climates. So yeah, I'm debating. I just don't know what to do basically. So it's either basically go to, oh, for fuck's sake, woman move. Why she just stood there like a cunt? Whoa. Yeah, do I want lots of countries, lots of options, and longer visas, or do I go with a nightmare of 30-day visas and therefore lots of moving around in Southeast Asia, but the sunshine and a cheaper cost of living? I really can't decide, so I thought I'd go for a walk, get some empanadas, a coffee, a cigarette, and hopefully I'll have decided by the time I've done all that and booked a flight. One thing I'm certain about is I don't want to spend another day here, so I've got tonight the hotel booked, this horrible, cold, dingy, unfriendly hotel that I'm in, and I definitely want to be getting on a plane tomorrow, so I need to make a decision very, very soon. Price doesn't really come into it. There's not a great deal of difference between flying to Cambodia or Vietnam or the Philippines are a bit more expensive than Europe, which is surprising seeing as it's so much further. The flights and the prices I'm able to pay, I'm looking at 3 days of travel if I choose Southeast Asia, whereas Europe more like 1 day. So if the prices made sense and Europe was cheaper than Southeast Asia, then I'd probably just go to Europe and then maybe on to Southeast Asia to break up the flight. But that doesn't really come into it because the prices are the same. I realise judging Argentina on Buenos Aires is like going to London and saying England is shit. So, you know, I'm not saying that, and I'm sure there's loads of amazing places in Argentina, but I have been so disappointed with Buenos Aires. It just feels very unsafe and very unfriendly. And yeah, there's just lots of desolation and clear poverty. So yeah, don't like it at all. Right, cheeseburger, 5,500, that's about £4. What's so special about that one? To go with that one in the butter. Extra quid if you want stuff. I think we want stuff. Hola, can I get this one? See? Just very unfriendly. Like, I'm not saying they should be more friendly, you know, I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just noting what I'm experiencing, and yeah, it's nowhere near as friendly as the other countries I've been. Oh, they let me pay on card, which is good, so that means one less trip to the ATM. Oh, he doesn't seem to like being filmed, does he? Bloody hell. So that my burger is ready. Gracias, senor. Thank you. So we'll go to that square, that depressing concrete square to eat this. The park that I showed you yesterday isn't open in the day either. It's obviously just to look at. It's always gated off. I can't offer any sort of explanation other than crime. But why would you have a park that no one can go in? It makes no sense to me. So this guy is walking, if you can see, he's got straps on his back, he's got his backpack on his front. So that suggests that pickpocketing is a big thing around here, which is just how it feels to me. Yeah, I never saw anything like that in Mexico, Guatemala, El Salvador. I think it's very safe to say that Argentina is a multicultural society. I just walked past someone that looked Asian, like Vietnamese or something. I mean, it's just a right mix, which is probably why it feels so unsafe. In fact, it definitely will be, because we all know multicultural societies do not work. So once again, massive queues for buses. We'll head towards the grassy area, but pretty sure, whoa, look at that queue. It's just non-stop queues for the buses. The park is straight ahead, but obviously why would it be open? Why would you let people sit in a park? I mean, that would just be crazy, wouldn't it? Obviously it's just a piece of grass in the middle of a load of concrete for people to look at rather than sitting. So I guess we'll sit with these sketchy characters in the sun because it is fucking freezing. At least the burger's good. It's actually a good burger. It's the first positive thing I've had to say about Argentina. It's just been crap. Oh, blue skies. That's another good thing. So blue, like there's not a cloud in the sky, ever, it seems. Found another positive I can say about Argentina. Can you see these green birds? Sort of parrots type things in amongst the pigeons. How amazing is that? They go up into that tree. Just have like green parrot type things in your city centre. Incredible. You see him perched on the edge of a bank. There's loads of them, about 10 of them. Amazing. So this bank charges thing is a new situation for me. I didn't really, I didn't know I had to consider this. I expect bank charges in Thailand. It was a $5 for 40,000 baht, which if I remember right is about $1,000. So bank charges are fine if they let you take out lots of money. So yeah, I'm thinking maybe I research whether the situation is the same in Chile and Uruguay and Brazil before I just fuck this whole continent off. It might just be Argentina, but I can't take the chance. I need to know. So I'm going to go and have a conversation with my mate ChatGTP. It used to be my mate Grok, but now that I'm considering the possibility of ultimate failure and going back to the UK, I thought I'd better delete my Twitter. For obvious reasons. So it says South America is pretty bad for this. It says Argentina is the worst. And then it listed every other country except the two I'm interested in. And said we're all pretty bad, but not as bad as Argentina. So then I asked about the two which I am interested in, and they're a lot better. It says you should be able to get about 150 quid out for £3 charges. Much better. So now let's just do some research on cost of living. And maybe the South American dream isn't quite over yet. The internet's too shit for me to book a flight. Spent about an hour and get right to the end of all the baggage I drove through. And it just circles and circles and circles and circles. Honestly, I give up on life. I don't feel safe with my camera out. It won't be long, but I just want to give you an idea of how bad it is, basically. Just more confirmation, really, of what an amazing job Bukele has done in El Salvador. Max was saying there's no homeless people now. And I tried to get an explanation, like how do you stop homelessness, because really it's mental illness that creates it. Obviously there's loads of reasons for that. I'm not knocking anyone that's homeless, but it's not like just giving them a home. Because in my experience, when I used to do homelessness work, I soon realised in England that most of them, and this is going back a few years, it may have changed now, but most of them did have a home, but their minds were so chaotic, they preferred to be on the streets where they're energy matched, you know, the chaotic streets matched their chaotic minds. There's police over there. Lots of flashing bikes. Yeah, it is police. I hate it. I absolutely hate it here. But I booked a flight for tomorrow, so we are leaving tomorrow. I'm up early in the morning and getting on a flight. So in the next episode, you'll see where I'm going next. As much as I hate walking on these streets, I just couldn't spend any longer in the hotel. It's so awful. It's so cold. It's just horrible. The internet is terrible, so watching a YouTube video is incredibly frustrating. So I've just come out for a walk. I'll get some empanadas eventually. Take them back to the hotel with me. But yeah, I'm just trying to kill the monotony of life right now. And usually I do that with cannabis, which I ain't got none. So we're out walking the grim streets of Buenos Aires. There's graffiti everywhere. I mean, obviously these are done by the shops, it's not the best example, but there's graffiti everywhere. And that was another thing about El Salvador that Max pointed out. No graffiti anyway. I mean, look at that over there. It's everything. It's covered in graffiti. Oh man, it's horrible. It feels so unsafe. I know I keep saying it, but it's really true. Yeah. Really realising what a gem El Salvador was. I shouldn't have really left, in hindsight. Well, at least Buenos Aires caters for cannibals. If you don't know what I'm talking about, watch KFC's latest advert and do a little bit of research into McDonald's and KFC meat. Typical Buenos Aires site, rubbish and beer. Empty beer everywhere. Well, seeing this lady with a dog has just made me realise there's no street dogs. And I don't know about Argentina, but in Buenos Aires, it definitely feels more westernized here than anywhere I've been, i.e. more shit, more multicultural, more corporations, more rubbish and mess and litter everywhere, a lot more dangerous, and no street dogs. Let's go and find some empanadas. I can't come to Argentina without having an empanada. I doubt it'll be as good as the ones I had with Steven in the Argentine restaurant in San Cristobal. Ah, San Cristobal! What a distant memory that is now. What a wonderful place that was. There's one I've seen somewhere that just said 1,000 per empanada and it seemed really easy. Whereas these seem a bit more complicated. So don't get me wrong, the place isn't swarming with umbongus from the Congoos, but there's a hell of a lot more here than in any of the other countries I've been in Central America until I got to South America and Buenos Aires. You see, I've seen, no, not many to be fair, probably about 15, but that's more than I saw in my whole, whatever it was, 4 months maybe, in Central America. Don't like it. Still a lot better than America or England, that is obviously just completely swarming with them now. And now we take a run down the poverty strip. Oh, it's what does Charlie Beach call Iron Man or something. The one-legged wheelchair heroin addicts on the Charlie Beach, so Ironside. We've got our own Ironside here in Buenos Aires. Okay now. This is sketchy as fuck. People sleeping. Now what's going on here? Is this just a bus queue? Probably. Oh, there's some cleaning going on. Well, there's a lot of that to be done. Okay, now no, it's they're queuing for this food. It must be bloody good. Oh, it does smell really good. Oh, it's homeless. Is it homeless? Oh, right, I think it's homeless thing. I was going to say I might get in the queue, but I think it's a homeless shelter. That looks like really good food, to be fair. It's amazing how much my views on helping the homeless have changed. Like I said, I used to do it myself, but I guess like my views on everything, I've just become a lot more what people would call traditional conservative, not pussy fake conservative like we have in England, where it's basically the same as the Labour Party. I mean actual conservative. It's just about not enabling victim culture, not providing for it, and not making martyrs out of victims. In the West now, we seem to, well, we do. Bukele's saying, like Bukele, when he's defending why he put all the gangs in the prisons, all the leftists are like, well, what about their human rights? And it's like, yeah, but what about the human rights of the actual victims? You know, the people they're killing, the normal everyday citizens that these gang members are killing. And instead, people want to make victims out of the gang members. Right, is this the one that was 1,000? If not, yeah, there we go, 1,000 per empalada. Fantastico. Hola, can I get 4 empanada? Sí. Carne, 2 Roquefort, 1 cheeseburger, por favor. Sorry, no español. I'll have one of these as well. That looks good. We've got a translation coming. I like this guy. He gave me a nice wink when I said I'd have one of those other ones. So that 5 of them cost 5,000. So it's about £3.
Anything else?
No, that's it. Finito. So 5. See? 5. Maybe is that agua guava? See? Can I look? Just fancy something with a bit of taste. Okay. Quanto cuesta?
1500.
Can you show me?
Esto.
Just a number would be great.
The drink at 1,500.
See. So that's £1. Perfecto, gracias. Oh, gracias. So that was the first Argentinian, other than the taxi driver last night, that had really good energy. I liked him a lot. Couple more doggos. 3 more doggos. Silly poodle ones though. Very silly doggos. Pamelo Rosado. No idea. Oh, that's really good. It's not very sweet. Oh, that's really good. And now the internet's not working at all, so it's going to be a very long, very dull night. Fucking hell. It's really glamorous, this YouTuber life. Speaking truth is great. These are good. Nothing like the ones I had receiving. They are a third of the price, so to be fair. Yay. Oh wow, it's even worse than I remembered. What the hell? 50% bank charges. So in this at the end of the last video, my little roundup, I remembered it was bad, and I said that was, you know, basically the problem. But whoa, 50%, man, again, such a shame I didn't film it when I was reacting to it and I was in it. If I remember right, I don't think I even had my camera with me, you know. I was, honestly, at this point, I didn't think I was ever really going to YouTube again. I was still recording because I was like, you know, maybe I will. It seems a shame not to, but you know, I was so terrified and thought that people were after me and would be after me for my whole life. I've been told there was an SOS on my life, which means pokey poke on site, obviously an S instead of pokey poke. You know, I was so scared of showing anything and everything. So I remember this day, and when I went out, you know, I mean, this is why it was cold, so I would have had the hood up anyway, but this is why I got my hood up in all the scenes, because I'm scared of being seen. So walking around with a camera just made it worse, because obviously I thought people were looking for me and they knew I was a YouTuber, and that just accentuated it. So I don't think I even took my camera out with me this morning. I was just like, right, I just need to be practical, I need to get money, I need to... Oh, and I was stressed that the guy was putting pressure on me as well. Like, there was just too much going on for me to film. And that bloody Argentine plug adapter cost a tenner. and I used it for 2 days. Didn't work in the next country, which is Chile. Oh my god! And you can see I'm even scared of saying what countries I'm going to in case I've been hacked. Like, I was just terrified at this point. It was absolutely ridiculous. But yeah, those 50% bank charges. How does anyone do that? How does any traveller do that? Why does Argentina do that? Like, why would they do that? It's so bad for tourism. Like, so my intention was, I'd found, I can't remember the name of it, but a really nice town, I think by the sea, but it, a really nice natural nature town. And my intention was to go there, like, one, because it was under the radar, like a lot less likely to get spotted there, and two, just because I like nature. But the bank charges just made it impossible. Like, how can you possibly pay 50%? Absolutely insane. And then just watching that back now, I mean, I remember, the minute I got to Europe, Barcelona, I was just like, what the hell am I doing here? Like, this is a disaster. And the hotel prices just finish it off straight away. I mean, Barcelona was a terrible choice. It was just, should have gone to Andorra or somewhere like that. Like, it was just a terrible choice. But watching this back now, like, I could have flown to Southeast Asia for the same price. So I basically just wasted £700. I mean, what was I thinking? I wasn't thinking, I was so terrified at this point. I couldn't make any good decisions. But yeah, watching that back, I did get a bit pissed off with myself, to be honest, that I didn't just fly straight to Southeast Asia, where I am now. Like, what was I thinking? Why did I go to Europe? One, because it's Europe. And two, why did I waste that flight money? Like, financially now, like, I'm not earning enough to keep this going. Like, I'm spending more each day than I am earning. So to watch that back, I am really pissed off with myself. Because the way I'm living now, if you take flights and visas and stuff like that out, I'm budgeting for like £700 for like a month. Right, I have to. so yeah, wow. Pretty pissed off with myself watching that back. Anyway, it is what it is. If anyone wants to help me out a little, then just buy me a coffee, Patreon down below. I really hate asking, but yeah, it's I haven't earned any money off YouTube for quite a long time now, so yeah, a bit scary. Anyway, it is what it is. I still trust that something will happen, that everything will be okay. I cannot go back to the UK, man. I just can't do it. I have to find a way of making it work, even if it's what came up then when I stopped being able to speak was like, maybe I have to teach English or something. Like, oh my god, oh god, anything to stay out of the UK. But if anyone can help me a little bit, I'd hugely appreciate it. Alright, yeah, thanks for watching to the end. Big love. Please like and subscribe. I'll see you soon. Oh, in the hotel, I wanted to touch upon that as well. So you can see again, I'm so scared. I'm only filming from certain angles in the room because I don't want to show the bloody poster that's on the wall saying the name of the hotel in case I'd been hacked. Like I said in the last video, I was told that like top hackers in a certain organisation, which I don't even want to mention now because it's none of it was even true, but I thought it was true. Were and these names of these top hackers within the organisation, which I'm sure were probably just made up, or maybe he did some research. I don't know. But yeah, so I was so scared, like I'm so gutted I didn't show you, but you can basically see that is the room. Like, there's no more, like, it's just the bed, a window and a wardrobe. It was horrible, and the internet didn't work. In tomorrow's video you do see me walking out of the hotel and the actual inside of the hotel, which again is just horrible. It was just such a horrible experience. Like, everything about Buenos Aires was just terrible. Like I say, it was just like one nice guy in the cafe and the taxi driver was nice, but like that was it. Like, the food was bad. Looking back on South America now, I'm in Southeast Asia, like the food is so bad. Like, it's all just fried, it's all the same. Like, there's no difference between an empalada and a quesadilla and a taco. And I was chatting to somebody else actually in Bali about it who'd been in South America, and he was like, yeah, like, 2 weeks it's great, and then you're just like, I can't look at another taco or empalada or whatever. And yeah, it's so true, man. Like, it's all so samey. So yeah, being in Southeast Asia now, where the food is so varied and so flavoursome and just wonderful. You know, I am considering going back from a visa and residency point of view, and even if I don't bother with residency, just long-term visas, like, because that's the downside of Southeast Asia. You know, it's all short-term visas, and you're on the move all the time. But yeah, the food. Anyway, that wasn't the point. I just wanted to, because as I said, I hope I show you the hotel in the next video. But that's why I don't really properly show it you. But you can see, like, it's just the smallest of smallest rooms, and it's so cold, and the internet don't work, and it's just, oh my god, everything was so depressing. I didn't really want to go outside. One, because Buenos Aires was dangerous. Two, because I thought people were looking for me. But I couldn't just stay in that hotel room. It's not like the space I've got now in Bali, where it's just gorgeous. You know, I mean, as you'll see in the footage, issues do occur with that too. But you know, an actual space where you can be and you can sit down and it almost feels like home. You know, it was just so bad, so bad. It was such a depressing time. Anyway, it's over now. We move on to Chile. To be honest, it doesn't get much better in Chile. But I was, you know, mentally, I just needed to get out of South America at this point. Like, I should have given up at this point. Like, it just wasn't going to work for me with the psyop that was pulled on me. Like, it just was too much. Like, I'd mentally gone so much so that I decided to go to Barcelona, which is was just the worst. I ended up in a horrible hotel there, and I paid £60 for the privilege. But anyway, that's all to come. So I think there's 3 more videos. I can't wait for South America to be over. I just can't wait. It's you know, looking back on it and editing it for me is like, I mean, it's fine because it's an old story, and it, you know, but it's like watching a different person in a completely different part of the world, who was just really struggling and terrified. Like, it's not good. Like, it's not a happy memory for me. Even though, you know, now I can see, you know, that I grew so much through this experience, which hopefully you'll see in the Bali footage. But yeah, we'll see. Alright guys, big love.